Hey everyone, you're here sewing with Cody, and in this video I am so happy to announce that we finally got our most anticipated machine in many years, and this is the new BERNINA L890 Overlocker. So let's take a dive into the new machine just to see what it does, because it's such an amazing machine. And as always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. And now, let's get started. So here we are with the new BERNINA L890 Overlocker. This machine is jam-packed with so much awesomeness. That's the only way I can describe it. So I've done many videos with the new BERNINA L850 serger, also known as an overlocker. So with that L850, all it could really do is an overlock stitch, many different variants of that stitch and rolled hems, but you're pretty limited at that because that's what it's designed to do. Now with the L890, it can do everything that the L850 could do, but it can also do cover stitch and a chain stitch, which is basically what so many of our articles of clothing are made out of, especially when we talking about t-shirts or knits. So, but what makes this L890 stand alone out of any other serger is the fact that it has this beautiful touchscreen. So it's the only serger with a touchscreen like this. So with this touchscreen, we're going to look into it and see, but you can tell it what type of fabric you're working with and what stitch you want to do, and it'll show you step by step on how to do and change the machine to get it to do what you want it to do. But so many things it will change automatically for you. It's amazing because it all depends on what type of fabric you tell it you're going to be working with. So also, as you can see on the screen, there's a guided mode and an expert mode. So when you're changing to a stitch that you're very familiar with, you can just click on the expert mode. Or if you really know what you're doing because you've had the machine for a while, the expert mode is the way to go. But what makes this the easiest overlocker to operate is the fact that it has this guided mode. So let's click on the guided mode. And let's go. This is the last stitch I was working with. So let's go and select a particular stitch. So let's just say if I want to do just an overlock or a cover stitch or a combination of the two, I can select, okay, I want to do a cover stitch because that's what this machine's known for doing. And you've got an option of chain stitch, 3 needle cover stitch, a wide cover stitch. We can scroll down. We've got left narrow cover stitch and a right narrow cover stitch. So if you wanted something wide, you can come here and then you can follow step by step, and it tells you exactly what to do with every single part of the machine. So here it verifies that we're going to do a 3-thread cover stitch wide, and you just go through the machine. It's amazing. And so you can, and it's going to tell you to unthread the following thread paths. And if you have any questions about where that may actually be, there's a video that's specific to this particular stitch that you've selected and exactly the specific action it's telling you to take. And so it tells me exactly how or what I should unthread and exactly how to do that. And it's got a different video for every thread. So you would unthread the right cover stitch, the left cover stitch needles, and then the lower looper. And you go to the next page. So here it's telling you to attach the C13 foot, which is this foot here, which is one of the feet it comes with. So the machine does come with 2 different feet, the C13, which is designed for cover stitch, and then the C11, which is designed for your overlock stitches and your combination stitches. Here is telling you to adjust your foot pressure to 4. And we can go on to the next page once you complete those actions. Then it's telling you to insert the needles in the position shown, which is a left cover stitch and the right cover stitch because we chose a larger cover stitch. And if you click on the video, it's going to show you exactly how to do every single step. And this is what makes this the easiest serger to use. Go to the next page, deactivating the knife, which is super easy right on the side. You just push it and the knife drops just like on the L850. Change the cutting width to a 5, Super easy to change. And but of course, there's a video for everything. I can't emphasize enough of how easy this machine is. And then it's telling you to attach the cover stitch insert, which is this. And there's a video on how to do this, but super easy. You just open this door. You then open this door. This slides off extremely easy. And then you'll just slide this piece on. Snap it. And then you're good to go. But of course we have to deactivate this. But there's a video for everything. It's amazing. So deactivate the upper looper, which is what it was asking me to do. So you can click on it and it'll tell you exactly how to do that. I mean, I can't explain how easy this machine is to operate. It's just like working with the sewing machine. Is the best way to describe it, because it does so much and everything all on its own. And you scroll through it some more. So this particular action, there's no settings that need to be changed for the upper looper. Set the roll hem to 0, and then now thread the machine. And of course, there's a video for all of each thread path that you need to take. And what makes it beautiful is that this machine, just like our L850, is an air threading machine for both the lower looper, upper looper, and the cover stitch looper. And you hit the check mark, and it brings you to that stitch, and it's ready to go. But what makes this machine a little more unique opposed to some of the other brands that have air threading is that we can still go and fine tune our tensions if we need to. So if we're stitching on something that's just different from what the machine may be kind of preset to, and we see that we need to adjust our tensions a little bit, we can easily increase our tensions right on the machine or right on the touch screen. So for our left needle cover stitch, we can come here and we can easily increase or decrease, and we can see it here as well, increase or decrease using the buttons or using the dial on the screen. Super easy. And to clear it out, you just tap the screen, just like on all of our other Bernina machines. All of our components for cleaning or changing a needle or threading the machine are all right here on our door. They can't make it any easier. They truly can't. You almost really don't need a manual. But if you do need a manual or some other type of assistance, there's always our little on-screen manual. And it'll give you all of that just like on our sewing machines, including maintenance and lubricating the machine. And of course, there's a video. There's a video for everything on this machine. That's the beauty of the touch screen. It's like having a little TV on your overlocker. But also, like I mentioned, you can tell it what type of fabric you're working with. So we can come to our creative consultant and we can tell it we want to do a cover stitch. Well, let's go back. So usually when you click your creative consultant, you tell it what type of fabric you're working with. So we're going to say a medium weight knit, which is this one. And you can say, I want to do a cover stitch on a medium weight knit. It's going to tell you what needle to use. So we are using the ELX705 cover stitch needles. And of course the type of thread and what foot you're going to need. And it tells you what type of stitch you'll be doing. You hit the check mark and it's going to go through those same steps like we did earlier. So we'll kind of just go. When we get to the last screen, hit the check mark and it's going to change everything it needs to change. So if it needed to adjust differential feed, it will adjust differential feed. If it needed to adjust the stitch length or whatever to work with that particular stitch, it would do that. But you can always go and adjust that as well. So you're not just limited by what the machine has preset. You have total stitch control, which is very, very important to Bernina as a company. They want their customers to have that total stitch control. And what total stitch control means, we see it on all of our sewing machines, but what it is that you as the sewer, as the creator, are in complete control of what you want to do. If you want to increase the top thread tension or the lower looper tension or whatever, change your stitch width, if it's a sewing machine, stitch length, anything you want to do, you can do that. You are in full control. There are no parameters that you have to stay within, just the mechanical ones. But so that's what makes the BERNINA L890 completely different from any other serger. Is, in my opinion, it is definitely the easiest serger to operate because every single step, every single stitch has a video to go along with it. So basically it just eliminates my job for creating all these videos for a machine that already has them all built in. So what's something else that this machine is capable of doing is it does have a very large memory bank. So if you are working with a particular weight of fabric that you will be working with again in the future, and you're doing a specific stitch, and you kind of tweak that stitch to work beautifully with that particular fabric that you've got, you can go and save that stitch. Let's see, yeah. So we could, if we had a stitch up here, we could have gone and saved that stitch so we can go and retrieve it at a later date when we're going to be using that same fabric. And I do believe that we can name that particular stitch. This is something my customers are dying for on the sewing machine. When we save a particular stitch or save folders that we want to be able to name that folder or name that stitch, you can do that here. And this machine has a memory bank of 100 possible stitch options that we can save. So you've got plenty of space to save those stitches that you want to save. Some other wonderful things about this machine is, so just like the L850, we do have the nice slide-on table. But before we put the slide-on table on, we want to notice that we have this beautiful free arm, which is excellent since it is a cover stitch machine, that we can do cover stitch on sleeves that we do a lot of when you're working with garment sewing. So, but also having this nice big slide-on table is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. All your threads are up here. It can hold 5 spools, so even if you're not working with all 5, you can have one just sitting up there for like a woolly nylon or a maxi lock stretch or some other type of specialty threads, just ready and able to be threaded into machine whenever you need it. You've got your pressure foot pressure, which you will adjust depending on the weight of your fabric. And the machine will tell you what to change your pressure foot pressure to. So if you're working with a bulky stretch fabric, you may want to reduce or basically change your pressure foot pressure to accommodate that thicker stretchy fabric so it doesn't stretch the fabric quite as much. But of course you have, just like with every overlocker, you have the differential feed to prevent that fabric from stretching, or if you want it to stretch to give it that ruffled look or that wavy lettuce look, you can easily do that. It does have the free arm system, just like with our other BERNINA machines, so you can easily raise and lower the pressure foot just using your knee. The list goes on and on and on. All I can say is the BERNINA L890 is definitely the easiest serger to use, especially since it does a cover stitch, chain stitches, overlock stitches, rolled hem, you name it, this machine can do it. And it's all on this beautiful color touchscreen that makes life so much easier because you can see everything before you stitch it out. But yes, there will be many more videos dealing with the L890. We just got it in, and of course I'm diving into it, really trying to explore how the machine works, and really just playing with all of its wonderful stitches and its ease of use. It's very user-friendly because of all the videos. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for many, many more BERNINA L890 videos. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel, and as always, happy sewing!